Welcome back, students. In this video we will learn what is a food chain. So in your last grade, in grade 3, you have already learned what are herbivores and what are carnivores. What are herbivores? Those animals which eat plants and grass as their food. वैसे animals जो कि plants और grass को as a food खाते हैं. Carnivores? Carnivores are the flesh eating animals. ऐसे animals जो कि flesh खाते हैं as their food. So herbivores are those animals which eat plants or grasses as their food, and carnivores are those animals which eat flesh. So carnivores will be okay, let's go like this. Herbivores, they will be eating plants as their food, right? Herbivores will eat plants as their food. Carnivores will eat herbivores or other smaller carnivores as their food. Herbivores plants को खाएंगे as their food. Carnivores will eat herbivores as their food or other smaller carnivores as their food. जो carnivores होते हैं या तो वो herbivores को खाते हैं या फिर उनसे छोटे और कम ताकतवर जो carnivores होते हैं उनको खाते हैं, right? So can you see it looks like a chain. Herbivores eat plants, carnivores eat herbivores or other smaller carnivores. Now let's understand this chain with the help of an example which is given in your textbook. Plants will be eaten by grasshopper. Grasshopper eats plants as their food or grasses as their food. So plants and grasses will be eaten by grasshopper. Grasshopper will depend on plants and grasses for its food. Now, grasshopper will be eaten by frog. Frog eats grasshopper as its food. So grasshopper will be eaten by frog as its food. Grasshopper will eat plant. Frog will eat grasshopper. Now this frog is eaten by snake. Snakes, they eat frog as their food. So this frog will be eaten by snake. So snake will eat frog. Now the snake will be eaten by hawk. Hawk will eat snake as its food. Now this hawk, when it will die, it will get buried and mixed in the soil. After that, its body will decompose or it will break into smaller pieces, and that will add minerals or nutrients to the soil. So this hawk's body will give minerals to the soil, and this minerals present in the soil will be taken up by the plants and grasses which grow on the soil. So once again, plants and grasses will be eaten by grasshopper. Grasshopper will be eaten by frog. Frog will be eaten by snake. Snake will be eaten by hawk. And when this hawk will die, it will get mixed in the soil. Its dead body will get mixed in the soil. This dead body will decompose. उसकी जो dead body है वो मिट्टी में सड़ेगी, and it will add minerals to the soil. Now this mineral will be used by the plants or grasses which will be grown on that soil. So all are dependent on each other for their food. See, grasshopper is dependent on plants and grasses for its food. Frog is dependent on grasshopper for its food. Snake is dependent on frog for its food. Hawk is dependent on snake for its food. Then hawk is adding minerals to the soil, right? So ultimately these plants and grasses are getting the minerals from the soil, that is from the hawk's dead body, right? So this all are dependent on each other for their food. So can you see a kind of chain where this grasshopper is dependent on plants, frog is dependent on grasshopper, snake is dependent on frog, hawk is dependent on snake. So this chain, which shows how one organism is dependent on other organism for its food, is known as food chain. ऐसा चेन जो कि हमें ये दिखाता है कि कैसे एक ऑर्गेनिज्म दूसरे ऑर्गेनिज्म पे अपने फूड के लिए निर्भर है, अपने फूड के लिए डिपेंडेंट है, उसे हम कहते हैं फूड चेन. Once again, the chain which shows how one living thing or one organism is dependent on other organism for its food is known as food chain. I hope you might have understood what is a food chain by this video. Now in the next video we'll learn about interdependence of plants and animals. Like we have seen how they are dependent on each other for their food. Likewise, how animals are dependent on plants and how plants are dependent on animals, right? So let's meet in the next video.